Yo, what's up? Jason Delgado here. Gonna talk some Chargers right now. Yeah, there was breaking news by Ian Rappaport. Let me show you guys here. Justin Herbert out for the season. Yeah, he broke his index finger on his right throwing hand in the loss to Denver last game on Sunday. So it's pretty bleak times right now. Tough time to be a Chargers fan. Ever since that heartbreaking loss in the playoffs to Jacksonville, and you can go back many years before that. That's just tough being a Chargers fan. Um, but yeah, tough news. The face of the franchise, the star. I've seen some people criticize Herbert this year, and I can't do it, man. He's played great. He has played great. Um, his offensive line has been terrible. His his defense, Brandon Staley's defense, has been terrible. So Herbert's fine. I saw Bill Simmons put out the other day. Would you trade Justin Herbert for the number one pick? Heck no. In the words of Philip Rivers, heck no. We're not trading Herbert for anything. He's a superstar. He is, he's got the potential to be the best quarterback in this league. I know Mahomes is struggling this year. Herbert Herbert when he has his weapons in a O line is amazing. Without him, obviously there's not much hope. It's Easton Stick time, and we saw what he did against Denver. He's gonna fight. He's gonna try his best, but as a Chargers fan, we all know the season is over. It's time to tank, which it's as a fan you hate to see that. You always want to win. It's rough already being out of the season. Being there's there's more games left, and we're already done. There's four more games. Um, it's been a while since the Chargers have been this bad. I guess you can go back to Herbert's rookie season. Um, you know, when we didn't really have a shot at the playoffs. It feels like that again. So where do we go from here? We fire Brandon Staley, great guy. You know, um, he's a family man. It's tough to see on a personal level, but results speak for themselves, and he's made some bad decisions that have haunted this franchise. Starting Mike Williams in a meaningless game. I know they didn't find out minutes before the game that it was a meaningless game, but you got to be quick on your feet, make that decision, take a guy out, Mike Williams, who gets hurt often. Take him out of the game. But he didn't do that. He kept him. He kept Herbert in, other key players, and Mike Williams goes down, and we don't have our second biggest weapon to Keenan Allen in a major playoff game where we go up 27 points and we lose the game. So that's on Staley. Um, Not being able to run the ball, having no defense, not being able to protect Justin Herbert. That this is on the players too, but it's also on Staley for not figuring this out. Uh, so you got to clean house. I say you get rid of Tom Telesco too. He's made some great picks you know as far as skill positions. Receiver, quarterback. Uh, getting Eckler undrafted. He's made some great moves there. But in the trenches, I've always said this. The 10 years Telesco has been GM, we're weak in the trenches. We never have a completely solid O line. We always have holes. We never have a solid D line. Uh, the closest thing to it was the year with Anthony Lynn, where we went 12-4 with Philip Rivers. We made the playoffs, and then we got bounced by New England because they were a more solid team. They were a better coach. They were better prepared, and they just rammed it down our throats, man. And that's what it's been like as a Chargers fan. You know, uh, I think back to the story I told earlier on the Chargers Central podcast about when I went to the When We Were Young festival. It was the day the Chargers played Kansas City, and I go to this big punk festival after the game. The security guard stops me, doesn't let me in. I think, what's going on here? He saw my hat. He goes, "You're a Chargers fan?" And we're in Las Vegas there, so I expect that I'm gonna have to hear about it. And he goes, "Man, give me a hug," because it's been a rough time. And oh man, we as Chargers fans, we all need the hugs right now because it has gotten a lot worse ever since after that Kansas City game. Even more heartbreaking losses, and then losing Justin Herbert is just the loss of all hope. Um, and it's rough. His fingers are getting mangled. I know what it's like. If you can see my finger right there, it's still bent. I broke my finger playing basketball years ago, and it's going to be crooked for life. Are Herbert's fingers, multiple fingers, going to be crooked now? Is this going to affect his throwing? These are all fair questions to wonder about. I don't know if other people are going to bring this up, because not everyone's had a broken finger like that. But uh, it will heal. The finger will heal. But will his fingers being curved, if they do end up curved, will that affect his throwing? Major questions here. Justin Herbert, we all have faith in Justin Herbert. I'm sure he can. He'll push through that. He'll still be a great quarterback, whatever it is. But even the smallest things we saw can throw you off when his non-throwing hand, when he had the broken finger on that affected him. His throws were off. So will this affect him going forward? Hopefully not, but only time will tell. And Herbert's the most important piece to this whole franchise. Without a quarterback, you cannot win. And Herbert is still one of the greatest quarterbacks out there. So it's been a tough time. And I have something else to address here. I'm doing this solo this time, the show solo, Chargers Central. Levon, my co-host, love doing the show with him. He's very busy right now, starting a new business. His job he already works at. He's very busy at also as well. So Chargers Central future, that's a little bit murky as well, just like the actual Chargers themselves. But I hope we come back. I hope we come back strong. I try to be optimistic. Um, you guys have seen that if you follow me on Twitter, on X. I try to stick up for Quentin Johnston, and I get a lot of flack for that. But you saw him last game. You saw what he can do. That big 50-something yard catch he had from Easton Stick. He brought it in. No trouble dropping the ball there. Herbert's passes can be difficult. He throws rockets. Herbert throws rockets. They can be tough to bring down. Johnston needs to make the catches, no doubt about it. I get the criticism. But when you start trashing your own players, and saying they're bums and that they can never do better, that's where I draw a line. We shouldn't be doing that to our own players because we're going to need them. We're going to need them in the future because the future is murky. Um, where do we go from here with we're going to have to cut some big name players. Is Mike Williams coming back? He's got a big contract. I hope so. I hope so. I mean, we've seen this offense with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, and we've seen it without, and it is not the same without Mike Williams. Herbert having two big weapons at the same time is huge, and so I hope they find a way to bring him back. Old fan favorites like Joey Bosa are almost certainly gone, which is sad to see. I know he's taking a lot of heat, but hey, he fought through it. He got he got multiple sacks this year. Uh, you could tell he wasn't 100%, and he was battling through, playing his toughest, and it was tough to see him go out sobbing, getting injured, and just the cart taking him away, and you could tell his heart was there. You know, he did not want to go out like that, and that may be the last time we see him as a Charger. Probably is. Khalil Mack is having a career year. I hope we can bring him back. Does he retire? Is he over the losing? Uh, that's a decision he'll have to make. But we hope he'll be back next year. But this team is going to need a total revamp. Corey Linsley is probably retiring after that heart issue. Prayers to him. It's bigger than football. I hope he's back. I just hope he's healthy and has a healthy life. Forgetting about football from here. He was a great football player. He was a great center. We saw the difference in our O line after he went out. Even though Will Clapp did a good job as his replacement at center, you can't replace an All Pro with a backup. And the difficulties running the ball was part of that regression on other O line players. Slater is the only Rashawn Slater is the only one on the offensive line who you can really trust at this point, and that's sad because coming into this year we had high expectations for the O line. I think we need to get a new O line coach in there because we've seen guys like Zion Johnson, Trey Pipkins, Sallier. We've seen all these guys play better than they're playing right now. So is it part of Corey Linsley going down and having to pick up more slack on that end? That can be part of it. Um, Guys moving positions around. Zion Johnson moving from left guard to right guard. Uh, you know, so all of these things, we're gonna need a O line. We're gonna need corners. We've having big struggles at corners. Teams are, you know, making so many big plays against us. It seems to be a communication problem, which is part of coaching. I think this year we've given up more big plays than I've ever seen, and under Brandon Staley, it's happened a lot. Years past, it was the running game that we were getting gashed at, and now it's both. Right now, you can't trust them completely to stop the run or to stop the pass. So it's a complete mess. We're gonna need a lot of help on D line as well. Uh, guys like Sebastian Joseph Day may not be back, and he's had his struggles as well. Derwin has struggled, who has been a star for us, but that may be he's just Staley's trying to have him do too much because there's so many holes on defense right now. So we'll need to see when we get a good coach. Hopefully, we can get a good coach. That's another question that we have for the future. Um, and for everyone who says that uh, Spanos is too cheap to hire a coach, look at the players who have, so many positions lately have gotten record-setting contracts. Justin Herbert, uh, Keenan Allen still getting paid really well at his advanced age for football. and we got to bring Keenan Allen back. Love to see him back, but uh, there's just so many questions. Uh, but I'm still gonna be a fan. No matter how down this franchise is, and this is pretty down for even for the Chargers. We've had some down years, but the future looks bleaker than ever. But with a guy like Justin Herbert, you always have a shot. And so when you look at other franchises like the Raiders, who don't have a quarterback, you feel better about that. So this season's over. We need to tank, as painful as that sounds right now. And I hope we come back strong, just like I hope this Charger Central podcast comes back strong. But we will see what's in store. You can always check out my other podcast, the OC Dudes podcast. Me and Jose always talk football. Always talk some Chargers in there, so you can always catch us on there. I have my own channel, Jason Delgado 78, where I talk movies, but I'll also talk some Chargers. I've got a ton of training camp videos up there. Hopefully, I'll have more videos up next training camp, so check those out. But love to talk movies, TV, pop culture, all that stuff. But I'm always going to talk Chargers too, because it's something I love. So you can catch me on there, and hopefully Charger Central podcast will live on. We'll be back, But we'll see with his work schedule what happens with that. And just sending all you guys a hug right now, all you Chargers fans out there. It's been rough, but I believe times will get better because ownership has to know. They know what's going on. They know the struggles this team is having, and big changes are coming. What coach that we hire, what hopefully GM that we hire next will remain to be seen. But they'll have a lot of work in store for them. Hopefully we get a veteran guy out there to help us, because we've been trying with rookie coaches and it has not worked out at all. So, hey, bolt up, stay strong, Bolt fans. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Chargers Central, for when we come back strong like the Chargers. Subscribe to the OC Dudes podcast. And I will see you guys later. Peace.